Kukata in the Dikula section was the last village we visited for the baseline surveys. Chip and Susan handed out the last of the surveys, the enumerators discussed with Charles, the extension officer, who they should interview, and then they left to complete those. The day before, though, we met with Leonard, a farmer from Chisiri. He had some insight on the mobile phone usage in the area.
We have been trained how to use a phone, a cell phone. To use
to send a message?
A cell phone to send a message to the ministry headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything about receiving? Did you receive messages?
Yeah, we do receive the messages, but in past I have been receiving, but the card has been blocked. So because of that, at the moment I'm not receiving because I haven't renewed the cell phone number, my cell phone number.
Oh, your cell phone number.
Yeah.
What kind of messages were you receiving?
We were receiving messages from areas which pests are
maybe like when there is an outbreak of pest,
yeah.
So they warn farmers that there is now an outbreak or diseases.
Yeah.
Like there in the upper main stock, you see those things. When it's attacked, it turns into black color.
Into black color.
While the stalk is green.
Oh.
Yeah, before it has dried like that.
And that's that's caused by a pest?
That's a main smart, head smart. So if there is an attack like that one, if it has attacked the whole, like a big area, they will send the message that farmers should do, maybe like just removing the upper part.
We were aware that Isoko, the SMS-based communication platform for farmers operating in several African countries, had been in use here as well, and we wanted to learn more about its influence in the communities we were studying.
So from the extension officer, we learned that last year she had done some training on the Isoko service, and we were a little bit surprised because most of the farmers hadn't told us that they'd even heard of Isoko. Then we learned that actually when they did the training, which was sponsored by Isoko, they didn't use the name Isoko in the discussion. They actually referred to it as the Agricultural Services by Mobile Phone Service, and in Chichewa, so it was all done in Chichewa. Were there ever messages talking about the price of maize?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We farmers, we should be aware of that the prices, so that we should also sell that particular price. So that we should have a benefit.
Were you able to sell at the price of the market?
Of that particular area.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sold it in a group?
Yeah, we sold it at a group. Yeah, we were about 50 farmers.
Did you say the club is smaller this year?
You have less number now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come?
We are about 17.
17.
Yeah.
Some people have moved out.
Yeah.
Why?
Some are crooks.
Okay.
They didn't fulfill the promise.
Okay.
We have.
They were given credit for seed.
Seed, yeah.
So some did not repay. So those who didn't repay,
they dropped them out. I see. It became very clear that farmers have a strong distrust of revealing exactly how much maize they had collected. They didn't really want other people to know how much maize they had because they feared that that would just make them a target for theft. So security, safety seems to be a real big challenge in getting farmers to cooperate and group together. I do think trust is a really big problem, and we're going to have to deal with that. This was one of the smaller warehouses in the country.
We visited the Agricultural Commodities Exchange, or ACE, warehouse for the Dedza district to see where it was Leonard's failed cooperative stored their maize. Despite the results of Leonard's story, there seemed to be quite a lot of maize and beans stored at the warehouse. We continued on to ACE headquarters in the long way to ask about their usage of Isoko in training farmers. They said that they had stopped using Isoko and started using their own platform, which explained why some of the farmers we'd interviewed were no longer receiving Isoko texts.
We've been doing a lot of thinking about what the content of the videos should be, we are reevaluating how important it would be to teach farmers about mobile phone agricultural services. We're really recognizing that what we'll need to do is work very closely with the extension officers to cover some of the topics that they're already working on developing training for. And that way the videos can be focusing on what the agricultural extension officers are doing in terms of a training. We can capture that because they're interacting with lead farmers right in the community when they come out to do the training. We think that could be useful.
A clearer picture was being painted, though it was quite different from our original idea.
Get information.
One final step before Chip and Susan left, and Tian went to India to learn directly from Digital Green coding. There were 190 surveys to enter into a database while watching the World Cup. From what we were analyzing, the data were certainly compelling.